Mercedes-AMG Dens, and you're joining me for my first model car review on the channel. So firstly of all, I'd like to say a huge thanks, and I highly commend everybody that's helped me reach 1,000 followers on Twitter. I find it such a great platform for connecting with you guys and sharing such a mutual love for motorsport and Formula One specifically. And in this video, I know you're asking, Dens, what are you holding in your hand? Why is it so special? And, tell us more about it. What does this really represent to you? So without further ado, let me get into this. This is from the 26th of May 2019 at Monaco, Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes W10 EQ powered Mercedes-Benz Formula One car. And you're gonna ask, okay, what's so unique then? So you might have realized, if you're quite keen-eyed, that the car has a specific signature of a specific legend. It also adorns a red halo, which is quite unusual for silver arrows. Lewis, the GOAT, was wearing a different helmet, because I'm pretty sure that's not purple. And for the very, very keen-eyed as well, you might have also realized that the car is starred, quite literally, with a red star. And this all revolves and is a great tribute to the Mercedes-AMG non-executive director, Niki Lauda. Now, for those who don't know or maybe new to the sport, Niki Lauda is a sporting legend. I don't think anybody could come with a more unique story. The sort of thing that he went through in his life and experienced was like something you would see out of a movie. And most people that have watched Formula One would know Niki and highly respect him, because on August the 1st of 1976, he's involved in a quite dangerous crash back in the days where Formula One wasn't as safe as it is now. Niki Lauda was driving around the Nürburgring where he lost control of his Ferrari and collided into some metal barriers, causing the car to be struck by another car, which then in turn created a huge fire which he was engulfed by. The crash was so serious that even a priest came to visit Niki Lauda in hospital, and even the priest thought that he wouldn't make it. But, miracles do exist, and Niki Lauda was able to return from the crash and able to rejoin Formula One and challenge for a Formula One title, even with the injuries he sustained and burns after the crash. So, moving it back to Mercedes, because you might ask, well, Dens, how is that related to Mercedes? He was the non-executive director or chairman, I believe, in his position at Mercedes-Benz F1 team. He was Toto's right hand, and you often hear Toto referencing him in the Drive to Survive series of that year. And Niki really played an integral part of Lewis Hamilton joining Mercedes-Benz from his McLaren days. So he's quite a huge figurehead. He's highly respected within the F1 community, the paddock, and obviously the team. He helped Mercedes restructure, not only in terms of the driver lineup, but the technical side as well, bringing in lots of different people from Ferrari and different teams. And that combination of experience and, knowledge and passion is part of the reason we have Mercedes' success today. So when he passed away, sadly, literally 6 days before the race, Mercedes decided to do a special thing with the car's livery, where they put a signature on the front nose wing. They painted the halo red. They also added a red star, which is now a common feature on all the other, predecessing or successive models, should I say, after. And Lewis on that weekend ran a special tribute helmet, which actually is quite similar to Niki's design. So let's actually get into the race, which is quite interesting.
So it was lights out and away we go at Monaco, with Lewis leading, Valtteri in second and Max in third. But what made this one kind of interesting was a very particular Charles Leclerc, which had qualified quite poorly in 16th place, was fighting his way up the grid to make up for it in his home Grand Prix. On lap 2, Leclerc absolutely sends it down the inside of Lando Norris with no remorse on the slowest corner of the entire F1 calendar, Los. On lap 7, Leclerc goes for absolutely savage move down the inside of Rascasse on the French baguette, Romain Grosjean. And then 2 laps later, he strikes again, desperately trying to make up for his poor qualifying. He tries to go down the inside of Nico Hulkenberg into Raskas, but it fails. He clips the right hand side of the wall, half spins the car, damages the floor, and more importantly, develops a rear right puncture. And this is where Leclerc starts to lose his head. Rather than trying to composedly bring the car back to the pits and trying to bring the car so the mechanics can fix the issue, he starts to speed with the tyre delaminating and absolutely dismantling all parts of Ferrari carbon fiber all over the track. Will there be a safety car? And then on lap 11, the race director officially calls for the safety car. Mercedes respond quickly by boxing Lewis for the medium tyres, whilst Valtteri patiently waits for some hards, and so does Verstappen. And Verstappen gets unsafely released into Bottas. There's contact there, and will Max receive a penalty for unsafe release? And the stewards come straight back and report that Max will indeed receive a 5-second penalty for the unsafe release. So as the race develops into a slow burn, Lewis finds himself in a bit of a predicament on lap 48. He's coming to overtake lap traffic with heavily worn medium tyres. The tyres are no longer in their great performance window as they overheat, slide, and give him vibrations which unduly affect the balance of the car, understeering on the entry and oversteering on the exit. And he's got hard charging Max Verstappen behind him on the more durable hard compound tyre. And bear in mind, Max also has the bit behind his teeth because he's finally been given that 5-second penalty by the FIA, rightfully so. And he's even more desperate to get past Lewis. He could put 5 on his head and try and beat the deficit of the 5-second penalty. On lap 56, Lewis makes an alarming team radio message to race engineer Pete Bonington. In his disheartened voice, he confirms the tyres have hit the cliff and on a downward trajectory of descending decay, making them impossible to manage. At this stage, Lewis might not make it to the end of the race on this compound tyre and ultimately lose the Monaco Grand Prix. On lap 70, Lewis gets to hurry up on the radio by getting told that Max has turned up his engine mode. As such, Lewis used overtake mode on his engine as a form of defense on the straights, and with absolute magical brilliance, precision, and accuracy, positions his car in a way where Max can't find an opening, left, right, or center. Like a rocket scientist, Lewis is surgically working behind the wheel with mythical brilliance to rebalance and stabilize the car using the brake bias into the entry of the corners. He then adjusts the differential to make the wheels from the transmission and the torque rotate and lock at the same time to make the car gyrate as elegantly as a ballet dancer. And then on the exit of the corners, he patiently gets onto the throttle, caressing the torque through the rear wheels and short shift to stop the rear wheels from spinning with the very lack of grip that they have left. As the intensity builds, the time slows down in the cockpit for Lewis. He's slowly realizing he can do this. Don't give up. Keep fighting. He's channeling his inner Niki. He's channeling his inner Senna. He's parking the car like a bus, much to the frustration of Max Verstappen. On lap 76 with 2 laps to go, the frustration builds in the cockpit of Max Verstappen. Coming up to the Nouvelle chicane, the inevitable dive bomb comes down the inside, but it flops. Lewis goes straight on, taking the defensive line, rightfully so, and Max still hasn't got the move done and still needs to build a 5-second gap in front of Lewis if he wants to win this. Lewis keeps his composure, he doesn't make any mistakes, and he crosses the line to win the Monaco Grand Prix with an emotional team radio from team principal Toto Wolff, saying it was such a victory, it was worth Niki. So guys, this is my first model car review. If you guys enjoyed, please remember to like, share, and subscribe and comment with what your favorite bits are, any suggestions for the future. And yeah, I really enjoy bringing the content to you in this style, kind of giving you a breakdown of how the car looks, its special features and quirks, and then the context of it in its racing situation. If you like it, please let me know, and I'll be sure to bring more. But until next time, guys, peace, love, prosperity, and take it easy. Safe.